Hello everyone, myself Vinay Mishra, working as a faculty in the Department of Mechanical Engineering of Ambalika Institute of Management and Technology, affiliated to AKTU. Today we are going to have a discussion for the thermodynamics, the subject of the BTech third semester for AKTU syllabus. In the previous lectures, we had talked about some aspects of thermodynamics. In the sense, we have talked about the fundamental of thermodynamics, the first law of thermodynamics, the second law of thermodynamics about entropy, how it is useful in thermodynamics, and how we are going to apply the concept of entropy for the different machining element in heat engine, in refrigerator and heat pump. In the previous lecture, we have also studied that how we are going to apply the first law equation for the closed system, for the open system, for the cycle and for the process. Today, we are going to have a discussion for the concept of availability and irreversibility, or we can say about available energy and unavailable energy. So, basically, if we are talking about the available and unavailable energy, then definitely we must have understand the concept of entropy that we have already discussed in our previous lectures. The maximum useful work that can be obtained from the system such that the system comes to a dead state. That means available energy is basically the maximum useful work that can be obtained from the system such that the system come to the dead state. This I am using the word can and dead state. These two letters are having very importance. The can says, can in the sense this is the possibility by which the maximum the work can be obtained from the given amount of heat, that is Q1. That means we are having the certain amount of Q, let us say certain amount of heat is being given for a temperature difference. These Q, this amount of heat what we are having, that must be divided into two parts. The first one is your the work done, the second one is your heat rejection. If the Q1 is the amount of heat given to the system, or we can say if the Q1 is the amount of heat transfer, then Q2 is the amount of heat rejected to the surrounding, and W is the amount of work what we obtain from the given heat transfer, that is Q1. Here the amount of work that we can achieve from Q1, this is W. Now, W may be maximum, W may be minimum, depend upon that how we are going to extract the certain amount of work done from the given heat transfer. That means, for a maximum value of work done that we can achieve from this Q1, this is known as available energy. That means, this is the maximum work done that we can achieve from Q1. If it is a maximum value, in that condition this is equal to our available energy, and if it is maximum, that means this must be minimum, because from first law of thermodynamics From first law of thermodynamics we are having the equation, or we can say the net amount of heat given to the system, if it is divided into two parts, the first one is the work output and the second one is the heat rejection. In that condition Q1 must be equal to W plus Q2. This is the energy balance equation basically for the heat engine, we can say. So, if for the given value of Q1, if W is maximum, then at that condition the Q2 must be minimum, because the summation of both these two values must be equal to Q1. In that condition, if it is maximum, this must be minimum, and the maximum value of W is said to be available energy. Moreover, the minimum value of heat rejected, that is the minimum value of heat rejected to a system which is not useful for us, that value is said to be unavailable energy. Okay. So, W is the maximum amount of work done that we can extract, the maximum amount of useful work done that we can extract from the given Q1. So, it is said to be the available part of energy, available energy, and if the energy which of no use, which is being rejected to the system, which is equal to Q2, which is equal to minimum Q2, that is said to be the unavailable energy. Now, the most important part, what does it mean dead state? This is the one of the most important things that we need to take into consideration. Dead state, what does it mean? Basically, dead state is something which is dealing with the equilibrium. Dead state is something which is dealing with the thermodynamic equilibrium, in which basically we are having mechanical equilibrium, thermal equilibrium and chemical equilibrium. That means, if the system is in equilibrium with the surrounding, in the sense mechanical equilibrium, in the sense of chemical equilibrium, in the sense of thermal equilibrium, then we can say that the system is at dead state. That means, the spontaneous process occurs at that condition. If the system is in equilibrium with the surrounding in the terms of mechanical equilibrium, thermal equilibrium and chemical equilibrium, at that condition the spontaneous change are not there. That means, the spontaneous changes are 0. At that condition we can say that the system is at in dead state, or we can say it is in equilibrium. While exchanging heat only with the surrounding, it is known as availability or available energy. Okay. The maximum amount of useful work that we can obtain from the amount of Q1 when the system reduces at its dead state, that is the condition in which the available energy is there of the system. Here the term dead state means a state where the system is in thermal mechanical equilibrium with the surrounding. We can also use the term chemical equilibrium in that. So, basically equilibrium is the state in which we are having three types of equilibrium: mechanical, chemical and thermal equilibrium. And the minimum energy that is rejected, that means in the same, if it is maximum, this must be minimum, and the minimum energy is said to be the unavailable part or unavailable energy. Okay. So, thus we have seen that available energy is the maximum useful work that can be obtained from the given amount of heat, that is Q1, when the system reduces at its dead state, and the rest of the energy that is of no use, that is said to be the unavailable energy. Now, irreversibility. Work obtained in an irreversible process is always less than that of reversible process. The difference is termed as irreversibility. The difference between the reversible work and the actual work for a given change of state of a system is called as irreversibility. in our previous lectures, we have learned what is reversible process, what is irreversible process, what is open cycle, what is, or we can say what is cycle, what is process. Now, we have, as we know that the reversible process is the process in which if we give certain amount of heat, then the pressure, temperature, volume changes. If we give certain amount of heat to the system, then what will happen? Pressure, temperature, volume changes from state 1 to state 2. Now, if we extract the same amount of heat from the system itself, then the state 2, if returned to its initial state, that is 1, with the rejection of same amount of heat that is being absorbed in the previous process, at that condition, that process is known as reversible, and the reversible process will only be occur when the losses are 0. That means, in this condition the losses are not there. That means, if the system returns to its original state when certain amount of heat is given and the same amount of heat is being rejected, at that condition the process is said to be reversible. That means, in this condition the losses are not there. Now, irreversible process. Irreversible process is the process if the system does not return to its original state. Suppose 1 is the state at which the pressure, volume, temperature is given to the system, and Q1 is the amount of heat is being given, so that the change in state take place from 1 to 2. Now, at 2 position, at 2 state, if we extract same amount of heat, then if the system does not returns to its original state, this kind of process is known as irreversible process, and the system does not return to its original state just because of some losses, that may be friction losses, vibrational losses, and so on. That means, irreversible process, we are having certain amount of losses present in the system, and for reversible process we can say the losses are not present in that particular process. Now, the work which we are going to obtain from the reversible process, the work which we are going to obtain from the reversible process must be higher than that of irreversible process, because in reversible process the losses are not there. If the losses are not there, that means the amount of work which we are going to obtain, that must be in the larger amount as compared to the work obtained from irreversible process, because the losses are there in case of irreversible process. So, if we calculate the difference between these two difference is said to be the irreversibility of the particular thing. That means, W reversible and W actual. W actual means we are using the word ACT, means actual, actual in the sense irreversibility. In actual, every process is irreversible process. In this way, the work which we obtain from the reversible process is higher. This must be having larger value as compared to this one. So, the difference of this is known as irreversibility. Now, the term thermodynamic equilibrium. As we know that thermodynamic equilibrium is dealing with basically 3 types of equilibrium. The first one is the mechanical, the second one is the thermal, and the third one is the chemical. In case of mechanical equilibrium, if we talk about ME, that is mechanical equilibrium, this is the equilibrium in which if the net forces acting on a body is 0, if the net forces acting on a body is 0, in that condition we can say the system is in mechanical equilibrium. Suppose the force is acting this direction, this direction, this direction, this direction and so on, many forces are acting, but the resultant of these forces are 0, then we say that this body is in stable condition and this we can say the condition of mechanical equilibrium. Now about thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium, what is thermal equilibrium? See, if we take the example of hot coffee, suppose at 50 degree centigrade the hot coffee is there, outside temperature is 25 degree centigrade. Now what will happen? Is this is the condition of thermal equilibrium? No, because the kind of temperature changes, the kind of temperature is change in temperature is there, that means this is 50 degree centigrade and this is 25 degree centigrade and the kind of heat interaction take place because this body is conductive. In that condition we can say that this is the condition of non equilibrium, non thermal equilibrium. What will happen? This is unstable, this is unstable, that means the spontaneous changes will occur in that condition and this, and when we will talk about the spontaneous changes, then what is going to be happen? Exactly, the heat transfer will take place from this hot coffee to atmosphere, that is surrounding. If the certain amount of heat rejected from the system which is at high temperature, this is happen just because to maintain the thermal equilibrium of these two bodies, because every body in the universe is try to be in equilibrium condition. That means दुनिया में यूनिवर्स में जितनी बॉडीज हैं वो इक्विलिब्रियम में आना चाहेंगी. इन द सेम दीज टू बॉडीज tries our best to be in thermal equilibrium, and to achieve that thermal equilibrium the spontaneous changes will occur. The spontaneous changes are there and these spontaneous changes we can say is like the changes will occur and the changes are the certain amount of heat will be rejected from the system and added to the surrounding. If suppose if it is 70 degree centigrade, then what will happen? The heat will flows from outside to inside in order to maintain the equilibrium of the process, or we can say the equilibrium of the system. Now the heat transfer takes place from 50 degree centigrade to 25 degree centigrade till how long? Till the time the equilibrium is not achieved. That means if the heat is being rejected, its temperature decreases, suppose 50, we can say then 40, 45 and so on, and if the temperature is 25 degree centigrade, the way basically if we are talking about the surrounding, that then we will see the surrounding is in infinite matter, we are having the infinite matter, infinite mass of the air. So we are basically not talking about the limited atmosphere, we are talking about the unlimited atmosphere. In that condition this temperature remain constant. Okay. So if we are talking about the limited atmosphere, then we will see that the temperature will changes, but here we can consider it as a constant because we are considering the surrounding as an infinite matter. In that condition, until and unless the kind of equilibrium, if this process of heat transfer is only going to stop when this temperature is equal to the temperature of surrounding. That means it will go around 40 degree centigrade, 30 and then 25. At 25, if this is 25 and outside temperature is 25, we can say that this is in thermal equilibrium. Now in this condition the heat transfer that take place is equal to 0, or we can say the kind of thermal equilibrium is achieved, and in that condition no spontaneous changes will occur. So, we can say that thermal equilibrium can only be achieved if the spontaneous changes are not there, the heat interaction between the system and surrounding is not there, both system and surrounding is at same temperature. So, this is said to be the thermal equilibrium or the condition of stability. Again, and in which there is therefore no tendency for spontaneous change, as we have already talked about that if the system is in thermal equilibrium, that means the kind of spontaneous change in terms of thermal heat are not there. And if we will talk about the mechanical equilibrium, then we will see that the kind of spontaneous changes are not there in terms of forces, in terms of acceleration, in terms of force, acceleration and so on. The third one is the chemical equilibrium. We can say that chemical equilibrium is the process in which no chemical reaction will occur, or we can say the kind of spontaneous changes for the body in terms of chemical energy, the kind of spontaneous changes in a body in terms of chemical energy is not there. That means, spontaneous, the body is not reactive in nature, the kind of chemical equation, the kind of chemical changes are stable. At that condition, we can say the chemical reaction is not there and we can consider it as the chemical equilibrium of the system. In this way, we have seen if for a system, if particular system, if it is in mechanical equilibrium, net forces are 0, if it is in thermal equilibrium, no spontaneous changes in terms of heat transfer and work transfer and in terms of temperature differences are there. If it is in chemical equilibrium, that means no chemical reaction are taking place in that condition. If a body consists of these three elements, or we can say the process, then this body is said to be in thermal, or we can say thermodynamic equilibrium. So, this is all about thermodynamic equilibrium. Now, dead state. In the previous one, we have talked about the dead state. Dead state is nothing but a thermodynamic equilibrium. That means, this is the condition in which the temperature is given, this one is the high temperature, this one is the lower temperature, the certain amount of work you are getting from this heat engine, we are giving certain amount of heat that is equal to Q1 and the heat rejection is there, that is equal to Q2. So, if we reduce this to T naught, we can say if we reduce this to T naught, T naught is what? T naught is the temperature of surrounding. If we are in atmosphere, we consider it 300 degree Kelvin approximately. We consider the temperature of surrounding in general 25 degree centigrade or 27 degree centigrade or 300 Kelvin. So, we can say that if this equal to surrounding, this is the state is known as, this is the state known as thermodynamic equilibrium, or we can say the dead state of a system. That means, the dead state is the state in which the equilibrium, the thermodynamic equilibrium is there, and if we talk in terms of thermal equilibrium, then we can say that the temperature of the surrounding, the temperature of the surrounding is equal to the temperature of the system itself. The same is going to be happen over here. The T2 is the temperature of sink, which must be equal to the surrounding temperature T naught if we are talking about the thermal equilibrium of the system or dead state of the system. In this way, we can say that this the system is in dead state. Now, same available energy, as we have seen that the certain amount of, if we gave certain amount of heat to the system in terms of Q1, if we gave certain amount of heat or the heat transfer take place in terms of the change in temperature, or we can say Q1, that in this case Q1 can be divided into two parts. The first one is your work done, the second one is your heat rejected. Now, if we are talking about the available energy, in that condition the work done, what we are getting from the system itself, what we are getting from the amount of heat transfer, that must be maximum value, maximum useful work is known as available energy, and the rest of the minimum heat rejection at that condition is equal to unavailable energy. So, you can simply say that basically we are having available part of energy, the Q1 is divided into two parts, available part of energy and unavailable part of energy. If we take summation of these two both, we will have the equation like this: Q1 is equal to available part and unavailable part. Now, available energy is the maximum portion of energy which could be converted into useful work by ideal process, which reduces the system to dead state. We have already talked about the dead state, we have already talked about the thermodynamic equilibrium. Because there can be only one value of maximum work which the system alone could do while descending to its dead state. That means available energy is property. This statement says that if the system reduces to its dead state, thermodynamic equilibrium, at that condition we are only having the one value of maximum useful work. That means only we can say that we are having one value of maximum useful work from that Q1. That maximum useful work is regarded as, is said to be available energy, or as we are only having one value, in that condition we can say it is a property of a system. Okay. The same statement we are going to use it, that it is a property of a system just because of the reason that we are having only one value of maximum useful work for a system when it is reduced to its dead state. In that condition we can say it is a property of a system. So, in this way we come to know about the available energy, unavailable energy, irreversibility for a particular system. So, in our next classes I am going to discuss in detail the concept of available energy, how it is useful for the calculation of various analysis for open system, closed system, process and cycle. So, in the coming classes I am going to discuss the concept of available energy, unavailable energy further. Okay. Thanks a lot. Dhanyavad.